Okay, guys, today we'll be playing Lift Your Spirits. So, without further ado, let's get right to it! Alone on a Friday night, and I'm spending it here. My fingers were sluggish as I typed out the last bit of conclusion needed to finish off my paper. I didn't bother spell checking the rest, my hand dragging the cursor across to close the document. Alright, time to submit it. I typed out my regards to Mr. Holtman. Kindly find the attached file of assignment, your student. I think that is James. Stifling a yawn, I turned on my phone to check the time. 2:53 a.m. The universal experience of losing sleep and gaining eye bags as a college student came to grace me in its hold once again, it seems. At least it's the weekend. Turning off the computer, it suddenly hit me how quiet it was without my fingers tapping away at the keyboard. Everyone else had left. The campus was open 24/7, but who else was dumb enough to push their luck in submitting their assignment this late? I considered myself lucky Mr. Holtman gave me the extended deadline, otherwise I'd be screwed. Still, there were also the rumors. Disembodied voices echoing through the empty rooms. Heavy footsteps shuffling down the halls. Those were lucky claimed to see a black silhouette skulking around the vending machine at the end of the corridor, staring at them. I wasn't the superstitious type, but I had to admit the eerie silence of being the only person here gave me the creeps. I was recalling all the gossip spread around the student body when a sound made me perk up. Who's there? I glanced behind me over the monitor to see if someone had come in. ... Nobody. I ignored the goosebump rising on my arms as I gathered my items into my bag. Superstitious or no, I've done what I came here for. Time to go. I shambled to the elevators and tapped the button. It rumbled to life, slowly making its way to the top floor. Just a couple more minutes and I'm out of here, I assured myself. I don't know why, but I found myself constantly checking behind me as if expecting someone there. Yet it's always empty every time I look. I tapped the button some more. ... The hairs at my back of my neck stood as if it was being watched. Who's there? I clenched my fists, ignoring how sweaty it felt in my pockets. Is there someone behind me? I jumped. The door slid open as I released the breath I didn't realize I was holding. I didn't even consider looking back as I stepped inside, refusing to turn around until the doors closed. The chipper background music they played calmed me down somewhat. I'm almost in disbelief they were playing it at this hour. Almost. I pressed a button for the ground floor. The elevator moved with a small jolt. With nothing to do but wait, I stared at the numbers slowly descended. The lull of the elevator was starting to make me sleepy. I thought of the things I could do once I got home. Just distract myself for the rest of the ride. A shower for sure. Like what? Ready? I blinked up at the flickering lights. No! The elevator shuddered and came to an abrupt halt. The music cut out. I tried the button for the ground floor and then the rest. Unresponsive. Pushing the intercom button gave nothing but static. Hello? No. This can't be happening. Taking a moment to compose myself, I called out. Is anyone out there? I'm stuck in here. Help! Help me! I started slamming the doors as panic took hold. There had to be someone out there. Help me! Please! I'm in here! I didn't stop for a good minute, getting more and more desperate as tears welled up in my eyes. Why now? Why me? I knocked my forehead against the dirt in a slump, ready to curl up and cry. This sucks. I was about to turn before I felt a chill run up my spine. The air felt heavy. This is the claustrophobia setting in. I didn't think I had it yet. Scream. I blacked out. K up. Y wake up. Y hey. I heard a voice, panicked and flustered from above me. Who the hell are you? A person was looming over me, visibly worried as I blinked back to consciousness. What should I give him? What voice should I give him? Weird, funky voice. You're alive! I couldn't really check for a pulse, so anyway, are you alright? If I just... Ew, don't touch me, creep. Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to. Just give me some space, will you? I realized I was still in the elevator, but now the stranger twiddling their thumbs in front of me. They were taller than me, and looming a few good inches past my head. Were they 6 feet something? Their limbs looked awkward in the baggy sweater they had. I wasn't sure if they had forgot to wash away their makeup or if they just hadn't slept for 3 days straight. Possibly both. I realized they were staring at me as well. Their eyes focused on me a little too long, as if they'd forgotten how to blink. So... I suddenly remembered the last thing I saw. That creepy shadow from the walls. Before you were here, there was something crawling out of the walls. I don't know, it sounds insane, but I swear, it looked straight out of a horror movie. The stranger looked nervous. Crap, they think I'm nuts. Don't look at me like that. No, I believe you, for sure. You saw it too? Well, sort of. Sorry. I was really trying to be sneaky, but I must have been caught about the watch, huh? Come again? What are you saying? Well, I heard you were yelling for help and I couldn't just leave you alone, so I did the next best thing I could. What kind of sick joke is this? I was just trying to help. There's really no reason to say this, but I'm not alive. Not the way you are. Did they mean? You mean like a ghost? The stranger lit up appreciatively. Basically, you must have heard the rumors, right? Well, it's me, in the flesh. Well, Sans in the flesh. Stick your hand through him. My hand shot out before I could think twice. Nanny? The tips of my fingers instantly felt airy and ice cold, like touching something solid yet not. The stranger yelped and backed away. Hey, you just go around sticking your fingers into people you just met? Sorry, I thought you were messing with me. The stranger was having none of it. Why do I even bother? If you just sit tight and don't do anything stupid, they'll come find you in the morning. They shifted into a familiar, black, shapeless entity, melting into a puddle and disappearing through the floor. Exactly the same way they had entered. I found myself alone for the next 7 hours. The workers found me half dozing in the corner the next morning. I stayed late most nights on campus to see if the stranger would show up, but it seems they're ignoring me on purpose. I never saw them again. Bad ending 1, Rude Awakening. Okay, now let's get the next endings. Okay, this is where I believe them. I feel like this isn't the worst situation to be meeting a ghost for the first time. The stranger gave a sigh of relief. Thank you for trusting me. I'd ask for your name, but I already know that it's Dark Hole. Nundeska, how did you... I've been watching you for a while. Excuse me? I've been watching you for a while tonight. It's not safe to be alone this late. I would know. Before I could ask further, they straightened. Anyways, I stuck around to see you write your papers. I don't necessarily agree with your hypothesis, but interesting nevertheless. Okay, if I just, yeah. That's why I get the other endings, I think. So let's save. Go with nobody asked for your opinion. Oh, sorry. This wasn't the way I expected my night to go, but I guess the sooner I accepted it, the better. I should probably ask for their name instead of calling them stranger. You know my name, but what's yours? Oh. I like the way, fingers picking at their sleeves. I don't remember. I know who I was and what I did when I was alive, but not my name. Strange, isn't it? Have you ever thought of picking one yourself? Their eyes went as if the thought never occurred to them. I never needed a name, but if you were to have one, I would have liked the way Elma sounds. Okay. It's stupid. Oh, no need to be rude about it. Alma went back to twiddling with her fingers. We stood in silence for a while, gauging on what to say next. I kept glancing back at their hands, wondering if they'd feel as solid as they looked. They knew I was staring, but didn't seem to mind waiting patiently in front of me. My thoughts were running wild from sleep deprivation and shock to actually form words past our introduction. To be honest, they started humming softly as if to fill the silence. That's when it hit me. For a ghost, they could easily be a student just like me. I have to ask, how did you... Alma had an annoying look in their eyes. Oh man, it's honestly kind of embarrassing. Back down. I guess I don't really have to tell you then. That's alright. As Samu sat down leaning against the doors, Alma looked on curiously. What are you doing? I shrugged and took out my phone to look for a time-wasting app. At no time I had one of my mindless games open. Might as well settle in and spend the next few hours trying to beat my high score. Not much I can do right now. Got some battery to last a couple hours. I pat down a spot next to me. You wanna watch? Alma stood for a moment as if unsure. Come on, plenty of room for both. Just watch your legs, lanky. They settled in beside me, sitting crisscross applesauce, and leaned over to look at my phone. My shoulder immediately chilled at their close proximity, but I didn't bother bringing it up. We chatted amicably as my fingers tapped away at my screen, Alma getting more invested the higher my number got. But otherwise it was peaceful company. A few hours passed. I must have dozed off at some point, as the next thing I knew there was some whirling behind me that woke me up with a jolt. Voices began to call, and I turned to see some workers prying the door open for me. It took no time for me to step outside when the work was done. The sunlight shining over me made it feel like everything that happened last night was a dream. I turned on my phone to look at the time. Instead, I saw an unsent message typed out on the screen. Be safe, smiley face. Careful out, staying late next time. I blinked and looked around. Ugh. A cold chill went up my arm and I almost turned to expect Alma, but saw nothing. Next time? I put my phone away and rubbed my bleary eyes, mentally making a note to stay back at the campus more frequently from now on. Good night, anyone. Till next time. Okay. I guess that's one of the good endings. On to the next other endings, I guess. Okay, hopefully, I think the ending will be different this time now, since I went all meanie baddie. All mean and bad guy. Yeah. So let's see what happens. Alma's eyes shrunk into thin slits. You... Why are you so mean to me? Oh. The lights dimmed, a fuzzy static rising in the air. A heavy weight settled into my chest as Alma stared me down. The height only made me shrink further. I've done nothing but to be nice to you. All I ever wanted to do was help you, and yet... Oh. Everything was dark. I stepped back as raspy noise came from in front of me. Sound of scuffling and bone snapping. My bag hit the wall. It was cold, colder than anything I've ever felt. It hurt to breathe as I waited in the dark for something to happen. Hello? Jump scare. Oi! The emergency lights turned on. Alma no longer looked human. Multiple eyes right across their form. Tiny slits with red pupils, judging me. Miles cackled and taunting whispered, You deserve this, you deserve this, you deserve this. Wait. My feet broke as the elevator began to drop, free falling as gravity pulled took over. The buttons began to feel light as one of them fell away. The buttons began to light up as one by one as we fell by each floor, faster and faster as it gained speed. The scraping of metal was loud in my ears. I dropped to my knees, begging for a stop. Please, no, please. And stopped it did. Splat. Bad ending too. You deserved it. Wow. Bad ending, I guess. Okay, now let's try to get the best of the best ending. Okay, now I went all nice guy. So let's see what happens now. It's not, I'm sorry that happened to you. I put my hand over theirs. It passed right through, giving a nice cold chill at my fingertips. But Alma seemed to appreciate it nevertheless. They looked up at me, their nervous hands finally coming to a stop. I've never told anyone about it before. I didn't think it would feel this freeing. Thank you. Why, you know, I think you're a really great person. I want to help you get out of here. I tipped my head. And how are you going to do that? I can try some things. That is, if you trust me. Trust. No trust. Fuck. They clapped their hands excitedly. Okay, here we go. You might want to hold on to something. Ah! Before I could ask further, the elevator began to drop. My heart plunged into my throat as my weight shifted upwards. Alma! Hang on, let me focus. The buttons for each floor flashed beside me. I closed my eyes shut and decided to trust him. It felt like a roller coaster heading straight towards the ground. The air whizzed around me. I grit my teeth and clenched my hands. Knuckles probably white if I bothered to look. And just like that, it stopped. Oh, wait, never mind. I jumped as the elevator jolted. I landed on my ass with a smack. Ugh. I blinked my eyes open to see Alma clapping excitedly. I looked over to see me on the floor and gestured towards the doors. They creaked open, as if manually pulled apart by an unseen force. My jaw dropped as I realized they really did bring me to the ground floor. You really did it! I did. I never got to do that before. I couldn't believe my eyes. I stood and threw my arms around Alma, only to completely pass through them. They yelped and backed away to the wall. Give me a signal before you do that. I don't appreciate feeling hands inside of me. It's gross. Sorry about that. Come here. I gathered myself and stepped through the doors, Alma following suit. Sure enough, the lobby was empty, and the clock on the wall indicating it was closed by 4 a.m. now. Well, I guess this is it. I turned to see them trying hard not to reach for their hands, fingers twitching to intertwine with one another. It all happened so fast. And sunk in that now I could leave and go home right now if I wanted to. Alma, thank you. I appreciate it. They nodded understandingly. I stood there for a moment as they looked at me before ruining their eyes. They were waiting for me to leave. I grasped at my phone inside pocket, mustering the courage to ask what I was about to ask. Would you ever want to hang out again? They did a double take. Huh? Yes! But why would you want to? Why wouldn't I? I kinda like you. Once again their cheeks darkened despite being them. I like you too. Yeah, I'd love to hang out again. Great. Preferably when I'm, not stuck and helpless in an elevator. My heart skipped in a beat as I laughed lightly. Preferably, of course. I'll see you next week. Yes, don't worry about time or place. I can always find you, wherever you are in this building. In the building, blah blah. Kind of unsettling, but okay. Stay safe, Darko. I waved and headed towards the entrance, pulling my phone out to call for a driver from one of my apps. When I turned to look back, Alma was already gone. Good ending. Fence for life? Or more? Okay. Well, guys, I guess that's it for Lift Your Spirits. So, I'll see you guys in the next video, if I make one. Bye! Hello? Jump scare.